Hey, we have some uninvited but very welcome squatters. Come say hello. He's all closed up. Doesn't want to talk. Guess he's a little bit of a hermit. I can see the front of his shell is chipped right here. I think something's been attacking him before, so no wonder he's so shy. I just finished splitting a bunch of firewood. My splitter wasn't working because the fuel wasn't getting into it. So I got in here to this carburetor area and took the bottom nut off of this little bowl right here. And it has a couple of air holes in it that I cleaned out with a little piece of wire. Put it all back together and it ran great. I am going to be a lot more careful about what kind of fuel I put in it. A lot of people say never put the ethanol fuel, and I think I'm learning that that's correct. This bowl, I took the bowl off and cleaned it out too, and it had just little like gelatin, all kinds of little gelatin looking debris in there, clogging everything up. So I got some more wood split. Now where are we at? We got about maybe 30%, 25 or 30% of what the wood I need for next winter. I need to fill this thing up. And I need to fill it up soon because any fresh new wood that I cut needs to have time to season. So along those same lines of getting wood ready for the winter, I have a couple trees here that are leaning over both the barns pretty badly. I'll show you. Almost all the trees behind this barn want to lean towards the barn. I got trees coming out of here and going here. And then this dark colored tree here is actually leaning against this lighter colored tree here and then extending out over top of the barn. So I don't even know how in the world I'm going to cut those down. I mean, this old barn, if it got damaged, we really use it a lot. So it would be bad. It would be really bad if it got damaged. A tree fell on it recently that I just cut back off again. Well, you can see here where a tree had fallen on it a long time ago, and another one that's a little harder to see right here that we don't know when that happened. But this is the new one that just happened maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And you can see why it fell. It was completely hollow to the point of just completely coming apart. But even this tree next to it leans over the barn. Here's a quick update on the chicks. It's funny, just a few days difference. You can see a huge difference in their size. A few days difference since they were born. They're getting really big. When they get over here in the food dish, one bird fills up half the dish now instead of one bird barely being able to climb over the edge of the dish. can see this branch is still leaning very far towards the barn. So I'm gonna have to pull this tree back while I'm trying to cut it down. Tie a rope onto it. Don't want a rope covered in poison ivy. Rope. Take it over to that other big tree over there. I had cleared all this a year ago, thinking we might put a pole barn in here. Now everything is 6, 7, 8 feet tall. Amazing how fast all this stuff just sprouts right back up. So now I threw the rope around this tree, pull it tight. I know I saw that thing. There it is. I want this cinder because it'll help me pull tight on the rope and hold it. A lot of times I've been able to use rock climbing gear for working on trees or zip lines or things like that. This thing is out to open it up. If you're a rock climber, you should be able to do a lot of things one-handed. Now I just need to connect the other end of the rope onto this end. So now you can see, here's the tree. If I can just keep it pulled this way, then as it comes down, maybe it'll just avoid hitting the barn and it'll just pull and land down here somewhere. Okay, I got a good start. I cut this wedge out. That's more than halfway. I think I'm gonna crank down on the rope again, see if I can get it a little tighter, see if I can pull the tree a little more now that the tree is a little more flexible. Then I'll start cutting from the other side over here, and I might try pulling the rope tight one more time. I just want to do everything I can to move this tree over. I really want it to go over this way past this tree. Right now, the weight of it is leaning here, and I want to get that shifted over to here. Even if it catches on the tree somewhere up here and then falls over to the other side. Any of that works. So you can see that it's well on the other side of this tree, but that's where I'm trying to bring it around this tree to fall over here. Okay, that thing's moving a lot now. Still can't seem to get it much tighter though. I might do the whole thing one more time. Okay, now it's cracking. I might be able to just pull it down. Exactly what I wanted. All right. That came down like one of those Hollywood actor dramatic death scenes. Don't get me wrong, I don't celebrate the death of trees. My tree is going to serve purposes that we need. I climb through here. I'm gonna start cutting the logs from this end where I'm close to my wheelbarrow. So this tree I just cut down, I believe it's a pin oak. I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance on saying that this is a pin oak before I look it up. I know that if I'm wrong, y'all will let me know. To the choices there, it showed black oak, northern red oak, and pin oak. So I don't know which one it is. Maybe y'all can tell me. But I'm in the right family, so I'm proud of myself for knowing a little bit about trees. I really don't know a whole lot, but I know some trees. That blade is really loose. I need to tighten that up. You might be saying, hey, Todd, why are you cutting firewood when you haven't even finished that little bit of siding on the barn or a million other little things? It is because we need that wood to be seasoned. So I need to fill up that woodshed soon. So that was awesome. I'm getting a lot of nice big logs. Loading them up, carrying them over to get split. But, so not today, but next time, it's gonna be this tree. Can you see this one right here? That's leaning against that one. I already showed it to you earlier, but you can really see it clearly now. You can see it coming all the way down to the ground and just how strongly it's leaning. That one is kind of in between the brand new barn and the old barn. So I'm not sure how in the world I'll get that one done, but we'll figure out something on the day we concentrate on that one. Cindy's been killing it on the garden today. This is not the only amount she's picked. This is like the final batch that she picked. We got some cabbages and a bunch of potatoes. Some of the plants started dying, which is an indication that the potatoes are starting to get ready. And that's over on the purple potato side. So these things are pretty cool. They really are purple. A few big cabbage leaves. I think she's already been freezing some of it. She also moved some of the peppers that were not doing too well. I think with some fertilizer, they probably would have done a little better, but she pulled some of the peppers out of here and brought them up here. We know that there can be some cross-pollination, so we might get some spicy green peppers over on the right and then jalapenos over here on the left. Hopefully they'll do well with the transplant. I love jalapenos. We're still waiting for these to go to seed, the kale. A lot of the mustard greens have already gone to seed, so we're gonna collect our own seed off of these after they flower and produce seed. I think Cindy's had about 5 wheelbarrow loads of scraps. Some of it went to the chickens and some of it's composting or whatever. Still got a ton of potatoes. There's only this little bit that's been harvested. Starting to see some bulbs on those onions. Starting to split some wood again today, and the splitter turned off on me. So I think the same problem with the carburetor bowl down here is happening, and I probably need to take it off again.